This is the second episode of a two-part alternate history series on Scandinavia. This episode is an overview of the Scandinavian Republic today. The Republic of Scandinavia is a major European power, with an economy rivaling that of the UK and France, and is known for its high standards of living as well as great contributions to scientific research, especially within the renewable energy industry. Scandinavia is located in northern Europe on the Scandinavian Peninsula, as well as the Jutland Peninsula and the densely populated Danish Strait Islands. Scandinavia spans across several different climates, with Arctic climates in the north and in Greenland, and more temperate climates in the south, similar to Germany and the UK. Scandinavia is divided into 6 states: Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Finland, Nordland, and Iceland, which includes the Faroe Islands. The largest of these states in terms of population is Denmark, with a population of just over 16 million, followed by Sweden, Finland, and Norway, with populations of around 8.5, 7.5, and 6.5 million respectively. Scandinavia also has the territory of Greenland, as well as the administrative capital region of Christiansborg, founded by King Christian IV in 1642, on the point where the borders of the historical kingdoms of Denmark, Sweden, and Norway met in the Middle Ages. The city of Christiansborg was significant in Scandinavia's early history, as it was where Danish, Swedish, and Norwegian language and culture met and developed into modern Scandinavian. The states Scandinavia consists of are also further divided into administrative regions and provinces, as can be seen here. Scandinavia has several major cities, 8 of which have a metropolitan area with a population over 1 million, but only Copenhagen surpasses 1 million within city borders. The largest city is of course the old capital Copenhagen, with a population of 1.1 million and a metropolitan area with a population of 3.4 million. Measuring by city borders, Copenhagen is followed by Stockholm, the capital Christiansborg, Hamburg, and Oslo. Although measuring by metropolitan area, Hamburg edges out the other two, and it's Copenhagen, Hamburg, Stockholm, Oslo, and then Christiansborg in 5th. If you were to include the German city of Harburg and its surrounding urban sprawls on the other side of the Elbe River, Hamburg would actually be quite a large city, with a metropolitan population of over 2 million, although these cities are considered separate as Harburg is in another country. Scandinavia is the 6th largest country in Europe in terms of population, with a population of a little over 43 million. That puts it right behind Spain and just ahead of Poland. Around 73% of people in Scandinavia identify as culturally and ethnically Scandinavian, and speak standard Scandinavian as their first language. The next largest group is the Finnish, which consists of only 12% of the population, as around 20% of people in Finland actually speak standard Scandinavian as their first language and identify as Scandinavian. But Finnish is still a thriving language within the state of Finland. After that, around 4% are Germans, mostly living in the rural areas of Holsten, in the south of Jutland, or Jylland, as is pronounced in Scandinavian. Then less than 1% are Icelandic, as around half of Iceland, mostly people in or around the Reykjavik area today, consider themselves and speak Scandinavian rather than Icelandic. There's also a small community of Inuits in Greenland, as well as a small community of Estonians on the island of Osul or Ösel and surrounding islands. The remaining 10% are mostly immigrants from other EU countries like Poland and Romania, as well as some Iraqis, Turks, and Afghans. Scandinavia is a very wealthy country. It has a GDP of $2.5 trillion and is the 8th largest economy in the world, just ahead of Italy and closely behind France and the UK. It's also the 4th largest economy in the European Union, obviously still ahead of Italy and behind France and the UK. Scandinavia also has a GDP per capita of a little over 58,000, making it the 7th wealthiest country per capita, just behind the US and Singapore, but just ahead of Australia and the Netherlands. In terms of international relations, Scandinavia is in the EU and a member of NATO. Its largest trading partners are Germany, the United States, and the UK, and it's on good terms with most other NATO members. Scandinavia also has a very turbulent relationship with Russia, as they share a border and were on the front lines of the Cold War. Although despite the recent conflicts in the Ukraine, things have still cooled down a bit since the Cold War. In summary, Scandinavia is an economic powerhouse and is one of the most important and influential members of the EU. It's also a member of NATO and an important military ally of the United States. All in all, Scandinavia is a very important and influential nation in Europe and the Western world. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button if you want to see more content like this in the future. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have suggestions for other alternate history nations I should make videos on.